Democratic side. But let's hear them and their opinions on what the Democratic Party has turned into. You guys may agree, you may disagree, but I want to hear your opinions. And make sure that you like. That's going to help with the algorithm. Appreciate it.
And that even former Democratic strategists are mocking them, including former Biden White House press secretary and current MSNBC host Jen Psaki, who had this to say about her party on her podcast. Let's watch.
So one of the things, and this is, I always laugh when people call me a Washington insider, which maybe I am, but because I feel like I grew up in politics, like working on political campaigns. And which drives me crazy is the way sometimes Democrats talk. It drives me insane. It's like we're in a PhD thesis on political academia, which is not how you win elections. You said, it's like so funny because I wrote it down. Democrats talk like we are adjunct professors at a small liberal arts college of the Midwest, which I'm sure I would love a small liberal arts college of the Midwest, but like, that's not how most people talk. And I've noticed this since even hosting a show. Like I'll have people on and you're like, are you reading from a sheet of talking point? I'm asking you about the threat to our country of this and you're talking about something else.
Former Biden ambassador to Japan and current CNN political commentator Rahm Emanuel agreed with Jen Psaki. Let's watch.
There's a way of using terminology, but you're right. A lot of people, Democrats, we love people to know that we're smart and that we got our PhD and here we're ready to show you our thesis. And it comes across not only that it's a self-enclosed conversation, it is tremendously dismissive of them.
And I want to go a step further. A lot of people that I speak to that are Democrats, that vote Democrat, are very intelligent people. Very intelligent people to the point where I think because they believe that they are intelligent, they don't even realize that they're not able to control their emotions or realize that when their emotions are impacting how they're looking at things. And even if they do realize if their emotions are impacting it, they don't even care. They don't even care. And it's like, it's almost as if like Democrats are not even realizing like you lost. You lost. You were in power 12 out of the last 16 years, didn't get anything done, but now you feel that you can call out Donald Trump for, well, he's doing what we wanted him, he's doing what we wanted to do too, but we just don't like the way he's doing it. This is how like arrogant and obnoxious these people are. Literally, Biden, Barack, Kamala, they all had the same goals to cut down the government, make it more efficient, figure out a way to not spend as much money. Migration, that's always been in it. All these different things that Trump is doing. But even when you hear the people that voted Democrat, they'll say, well, we like what Trump's doing, but we just don't like how he's going about it. And you know what I would do if I was a Democrat? If I was a Democrat, especially a voter, I would be telling these politicians to shut up and stop saying all these crazy, outlandish things about Trump. And if you don't like how he's going about something, but you do like the fact that he's doing it, because it's the same thing with the wall. When Trump said he's building the wall, there's videos that they'll play of Barack Obama and Joe Biden talking about they need to build a wall. No different than when they played the video. I think they even played it in Congress where Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Al Gore, they're all talking about the exact same thing that Doge is supposed to be doing. They're talking about that's a priority for them, but they just didn't get it done. So they had the exact same goal, but now it's like we will villainize Donald Trump for actually doing something and getting something done that people were supposed to do before him and not doing it. But we'll villainize Donald Trump for actually doing it. But it's like, oh, it's the way that he went about it. We'll villainize him more than we hold the people accountable that didn't even try to do it or just didn't get it done at all. So why don't the people that vote Democrat, the politicians, why don't you force the politicians to say like, yo, push your ego to the side. Y'all lost. Shut up. You lost. Shut up. Now you lost. So now you have to go to Trump, humble yourself, and ask him and say, listen, you said you wanted to be a president for the people, just like a guy like John Fetterman who's saying, I'm going to work with Trump. Instead of the Jasmine Crockett's, instead of the Ayanna Presley's, instead of all these other AOCs and all these other Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, instead of all of these people trying to villainize Trump and make him out to be like he's Hitler and saying it's a threat to democracy and all this other stuff, why don't you humble yourself and go to him and say, Trump, you said you want to be a party for the people. You're working with some former Democrats. You're working with some Democrats that you're willing to work with Eric Adams. You're willing to work with RFK Jr. that came over from the Democrats, Tulsi Gabbard that came over from the Democrats. If you're willing to work with these people, look, you have a different approach than us. Now, you were able to do some of the things that we were trying to do, but we were trying to do it in a different way. Is there a way that we can work with you to kind of figure this thing out together? Now, if he says no, if he blows up, then cool. But how they're going about something, just trying to be, it's like he's over there, so we're just going to try to rile up the crowd and be as extreme as possible. It's like, what are you guys standing on? And there's a video right after this that Hakeem Jeffries gets asked, like, hey, everybody said that Trump had Project 2025, right? So if the Republicans had Project 2025, where's your plan? And his response is something like a Maya Angelou line, well, people don't remember what you do. They remember how you made them feel. Like, that's exactly their mindset. They don't have any plan to do anything. All they do is operate on feelings and emotions. And that is why they get intelligent people to vote against their own best interest, to not even be able to see things outside of, I hate Trump, I hate Trump, I hate Trump. And what it does is it does a disservice to it does a disservice to politics overall, because this is what ends up happening. You think about a seesaw. This is what politics has become, a seesaw, where it's very hard. Like, imagine if you had a marble or a ball that you were trying to roll from or balance in the middle of a seesaw, or a balance beam, whatever. I'm not a balance beam. A seesaw, I guess, would be it. It's easy to get the ball on one side or another, but it's very hard to balance that ball in the middle. So what ends up happening is, as the Democrats get extreme, then the Republicans get extreme. Then the ball just rolls all the way on the other side. It gets more and more extreme. Now, I just happen to be in a position where the Republican extreme right now is more tolerable to me than the Democratic extreme. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that can't go an extreme way as well. Some of these wars that are going on throughout the world, I can't sit here and act as if that doesn't have a chance of getting very extreme to a place where I'm not comfortable with. I can't sit there and act like that. But it's like, you lost. The loser, the victor goes to the spoils. The loser, yeah, you got to go humble yourself and go figure out how to work with the winner. You can't just sit back and sulk and now you're calling for reparations, calling for all this stuff that you didn't even do when you had the power to do it. Just because you want to frame Trump as racist and frame him as whatever else. It's bizarre to me, but let's keep going. It's bizarre to me, but let's keep going. All right.
Audience. We're actually talking to ourselves about how important, how smart we are, rather than how to make sure that they understand. We're more interested in the sound of our own voice.
Arrogance.
And the Young Turks host Ana Kasparian had this to say on Friday about the Democratic Party. Let's watch.
Listen, no one is stupid enough to think that Democrats have a modicum of power right now. They don't. They have no power right now. We all understand that. But how about take a look at the behavior of Republicans?
Have no power, but are behaving like they are in. When I hear Ayanna Pressley and Jasmine Crockett speak, or Hakeem Jeffries, or Chuck Schumer, or Maxine Waters, when I hear them speak, they act like they have some leverage in this, like as if they didn't lose. They act like they're in the power position. Humble yourself. You lost. The country voted to not go with you, to go with somebody else. So you have to humble yourself and figure out a way to balance it. Not the other way around. So you expect Trump to win after y'all called him Hitler, after y'all say he's a threat to democracy, treat him like a Nazi. You expect Trump to say, okay, let's bring you guys on. I know you're still talking crazy about me, but let me come to you. And to be totally honest, he probably, for certain individuals, he probably would. But I mean, every time you see Trump, it's almost like even when Trump sat down with Biden, Trump was very positive. Like, listen, it's going to be a smooth transition. And then afterwards, and I don't even think it was Biden, to be honest, but afterwards, that administration, they kept saying crazy stuff about him, kept in sight. It's like, yo, Trump sat down with Biden. Biden has made remarks along with the people that support Biden, whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's Michelle Obama, whether it's Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, when all of those people called him a threat to democracy, referring him to Hitler, don't y'all think that contributed to him almost being killed? And he was he was humble enough to still sit down with Joe Biden and say, hey, you know, we're going to have a smooth transition. He's shaking hands. He's talking to Barack. I don't know if I'd be sitting there talking to Barack if I think that the Barack's rhetoric just contributed to somebody taking a shot at my ear that almost blew my head off on live TV. But we will never look at things from that perspective because we're trained to just, I hate Trump. He's a racist. He's this, he's that. That's how we're trained. They have you trained. They have us all trained. I had a conversation with Mama Leslie the other day. Maybe it was yesterday. And we're texting. I'm just like, yeah, I had to remind myself to just be more balanced, to just make sure that I'm not getting too Republican, too right, to remind myself. It goes back to that saying, like a wise man says, don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell. When it's two extreme things, the balance is what we got to strive for. The balance is what we got to strive for. Now, because things have gone so woke, this is just my stance. Because things have gone so woke, when you've gotten to a point where you got men playing sports against women and it's being accepted, tampons in boys' bathrooms, you got drag queens reading books. When it's gone so crazy that way, then yeah, we gotta do some heavy lifting back the other way. That's just how I look at it.
When they are not in power, you want to know what they do? They don't shut up. Okay, they're doing press conferences, they're doing congressional hearings, they're repetitive. Again and again, I mean, the Hillary Benghazi thing, every single day, Hillary Benghazi, Hillary Benghazi, Hillary Benghazi. Democrats though, they cower. And then they tell their own supporters, shut up. There's nothing we can do because we don't have enough power. And then what they'll say is, we need to have control of Congress. And then everyone will get out the vote, they'll organize, they'll canvass, they'll fight real hard to ensure Democrats have the majority in Congress in both the lower chamber, Senate. And guess what they do with that power? Nothing. That's what Biden had. And then
nothing. Barack had it too. I was having a conversation the other day, like, yo, I was having a conversation with a couple Democrats the other day, and it's like, everything that you're criticizing Trump for doing, or for doing this, not doing this, and you didn't hold Biden to that standard. You didn't hold Barack to that standard. He didn't do those things. At least Trump is that. You may say you don't like the way Trump's doing it, but at least he's doing it. I don't understand it. Like, isn't it a slap in the face? Let me ask y'all a question. I don't know how intelligent people, let's say that the Democrats always like to say that the voting base that didn't lead them were college educated individuals, right? So y'all are the smart ones, right? Let's just say y'all are the smart ones. If you're so intelligent, can't you see that, like, do you see a problem? Let me not influence you one way or another. Do you see a problem with Democratic leaders, Ayanna Pressley, Jasmine Crockett, saying now they're bringing about, let me calm down. Now they're bringing about legislation for reparations. They're bringing about legislation for reparations when Trump and the Republicans are in control right now. But you didn't bring about the legislation for reparations when Biden was in control and the Democrats, when Barack had control and the Democrats. Isn't that kind of like a slap in the face? Like, don't y'all kind of take that as them playing games with you? Like I would be feel just very disrespected by that. I did feel very disrespected by that. That's why I left the Democratic, what do they call it? The Democratic plantation. But what I don't understand is how such intelligent individuals, like, I'm not saying you got to go full MAGA, but damn, like you still fighting and defending for the Democrats. I don't understand it. These people aren't fighting for you. Why are you fighting so passionately for them?
It was excuse after excuse after excuse for why they can't get their own agenda accomplished.
Well, Linda, you're a Democratic insider as well. Are you
Am
not?
I? I was also a campaigner. Thank you very much, Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki was White House press secretary. She's like, oh, I guess I'm a Washington insider. I think you're an insider, babe.
I think you got a point there, Robbie.
You know, this happens all the time.
All right, we're gonna. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.